Welcome to this Bryan County Chamber Member Advisory Podcast, your weekly source for regional chamber news and information. I'm Preston Laird, Chamber of Commerce Board member since 2024. If you own property in Bryan County, the 2026 notices of assessment were mailed to property owners throughout Bryan County over the past few weeks. Since those notices arrived, many chamber members have reached out with questions about changes to their assessed property values and what those changes mean for their businesses. Our goal today is simple: to help you understand the assessment process, highlight a few important deadlines, and share the resources available should you have any questions about your property's value. One of the most important things to know is this: if you have not received your notice of assessment, now is the time. Georgia law provides property owners with a limited window to review their assessment and file an appeal if they believe their property's value does not accurately reflect market conditions or if there are any other issues that exist. For assessment notices mailed on June the 12th, the appeal deadline is July 27th, 2026. Well, why is this important? It's important because property taxes represent a significant operating expense for many businesses. For property owners and for many tenants through lease agreements, changes in assessed value may influence future property tax obligations once local millage rates are established later this year. Reviewing your assessment now provides an opportunity to ask questions or pursue an appeal before tax bills are issued. As you review your notice, there are several items worth checking. First, consider whether their fair market value listed appears consistent with your understanding of the property's current market value. Next, compare your property's assessed value with similar properties in your area. Georgia law allows appeals based not only on value but also on uniformity, meaning comparable properties should be assessed in a similar manner. You'll also want to verify that there are any exceptions, such as a homestead exemption or a conservative use of assessment, remain properly reflected on your notice if they are applied previously. Finally, if your property contains wetlands, drainage areas, utility easements, setbacks, or other features that limit development, confirm those characteristics are appropriately reflected in your property's value. If after reviewing your notice you believe additional information would be helpful, Georgia law allows property owners to request the comparable sale information and supporting analysis used to determine the assessed value. That request should be made directly to the Bryan County Board of Assessors. Property owners have several appeal options available depending on the circumstances. The most common is the appeal to the Board of Equalization, which may be used to challenge value, uniformity, exemptions, or taxability. Other options include non-binding arbitration, hearing officers for qualifying commercial properties, and Superior Court may also be an appropriate option depending on the type of property and the nature of the appeal. Appeals must be submitted in writing to the Bryan County Board of Tax Assessors before July 27th deadline. One additional reminder concerning exemptions. If you are currently receiving a homestead exemption and your eligibility has changed because of sale of property, change in residence, or change in the property's use, Georgia law requires that change be reported. Reviewing the exemption section of your notice is a good opportunity to ensure everything remains accurate. It's also important to remember that your assessed value is only one part of the property tax equation. Later this year, Bryan County, the Bryan County school system, and applicable municipalities will establish their millage rates. Those rates, together with your assessed value, determine your final property tax bill. If a taxing authority proposes a millage rate that results in an increase in property tax revenue over the previous year, Georgia laws require that public hearing be held before those rates are adopted. The Chamber will share those hearing dates with members as soon as they become available so businesses can stay informed and participate if they choose. The Bryan County Chamber is committed to serving as a resource throughout this process. The bottom line is simple. Take a few minutes, review your 2026 Notice of Assessment. If you have questions about your property's assessed value or believe it may be not accurately reflected of your property's characteristics or market value, Georgia law provides an appeal process, but it must be initiated before July 27th, 2026. If you need help understanding the process or finding the appropriate resources, the Bryan County Chamber is here to assist and connect you with the right contacts. Thank you for listening, and thank you for being a valued member of the Bryan County Chamber of Commerce.